So, Alex, this is very important. I'm going to need you to tell me everything that you know about the restaurant chain Friendly's.
Ooh. Well, let me tell you, Friendly's, it's a place where you walk in and it smells like you're inside the vent of an air conditioning unit, laced with a sugary smell that's wafting from cakes in the display and ice cream in the back. And you go there and you have food, and maybe you'll have a sundae. That'll probably be the most memorable part of the evening. And then they have a really good sandwich, which is like chicken tenders with like honey barbecue sauce or something, and then it's got like bacon in it too.
Yeah.
So it's just your standard hyper American cuisine.
I had quite a bit of experience with Friendly's growing up. My family didn't really like it, but I think one of my brothers married into a family that was super hardcore into Friendly's. So there was a period of time when we were going a lot when I was a kid. And for our viewers, listeners, whatever, who are from outside of I guess the East Coast or the Northeast, where Friendly's is kind of, that's its habitat. You could compare it to something like maybe Frisch's or Bob's Big Boy or something. It's kind of like a diner type place, but it's a chain. Yeah, you walk in, there's that crane game there, and then everything has like a thin layer of grease covering it. The tables, the booths, the chairs, the counters, it just seems like it's everywhere. And the food is not great. Yeah, there's like that one sandwich item that you mentioned, which I think is what, the chicken barbecue melt or something.
Yeah.
They apparently have another item called the fishamajig, which some people are a fan of. And otherwise, it's just kind of average or below average chain restaurant fare. But the big thing about it is the ice cream. It's sort of this slightly disappointing or adequate lead up to some nice ice cream at the end. But I've pulled up, it's very, very important that we do this on the show and have this committed to record. I've pulled up the Friendly's Wikipedia page for a number of reasons. Now, there's your typical information. Friendly's is a restaurant chain on the East Coast of the United States. It was founded in 1935 in Springfield, Massachusetts. It has 10,000 employees. George Michael is the CEO. Well, that's spelled differently. I don't know. Well, it declared bankruptcy a while ago, and I think it got bought out. So actually, on the Wikipedia page, when it has that section where it's almost like you're listing stats, like it's a Pokemon or something, that little thing under the main image. And
yeah,
it has all these things like type, industry, founded, founders. And then under fate, there's a fate category, and it just says all in lowercase letters, bankruptcy. But it is still going. It's going kind of strong-ish, I guess. There's 126 locations, 10,000 employees. They're doing their thing, and they're still around. There's one just down the road from my apartment right now. But yeah, so multiple sections there. You've got history, and then immediately under history, they just go right into legal issues. But the section that I want to highlight, and I think more people need to be talking about this, is on the Wikipedia page, below legal issues. You can read Friendly's many slogans they have had over the years. This is really something special because honestly, I was unaware that Friendly's had slogans. Like, I don't know about you, but I've never really seen ads for Friendly's. I haven't seen any commercials or anything like that.
Oh.
You just drive by them all the time. They're ubiquitous around here. So, but apparently they do have slogans, and there's a range. There's adequate, there's shockingly lazy, and then there's another category which is careening very close to like copyright infringement. Those are kind of the three things, and there's like one or two like decent ones, but we'll just go from the top. 1979 is the first one that they have listed here, and I think the word that comes to mind for me is ominous. From 1979 to 1982, Friendly's slogan was, "You're in for a nice surprise," which just does not sound good. Friendly's, you're in for a nice surprise. It's just, that's
Didn't they
it.
used to have clowns? Or am I thinking of another now long vanished restaurant?
I don't know.
Ice cream place.
In my memory, when I was a child, this was before kind of like the clowns are creepy thing really entered into the zeitgeist. Clowns used to be everywhere, just like at your local diner, there would just be a
Yeah.
clown making balloon animals every once in a while. So it may have been something that Friendly specifically did. I do know that they were popping up a lot when we were young, like back in the 90s, early aughts.
I just think of Total Recall. Get ready for a surprise.
Exactly.
That's in your ice cream cake.
That's it. That's it. So there you go. That one lasted 3 years, and then it kind of seems like they gave up for a while. They're like, okay, let's retire that one. We'll regroup. We'll take some time. We'll think. And what they came up with, and this slogan lasted from 1985 to 1989, was Friendlies. There's no place like home. Which bold, bold to just straight up rip off the Wizard of Oz, but it's memorable. So that one had a little bit longer of a shelf life. That one lasted for 4 years. This one's actually pretty good because I think it hits to the heart of Friendly's business model, which we've talked about. And I think just in general it works better. So we have in 2008 they took a really long sabbatical. I don't know, maybe they couldn't hire an ad team because they were too busy paying out to L. Frank Baum's estate. But in 2008 their slogan became Friendlies, where ice cream makes the meal. Yeah, that one kind of works. It's not great.
It does.
Yeah, but it gets the idea across. Like, okay,
it
Friendlies.
Tells you.
Yeah, our food sucks. But
so you're gonna want some ice cream with that.
Hang in there.
Some people just go there for the ice cream,
dude. Like that, yeah. Why not? Get yourself a Monster Mash. Get yourself, a nice milkshake or something. It's good. It's good ice cream. So that was one of the slogans that they adopted in 2008. They went with two different slogans. The other one, this one falls under the extremely shamefully lazy category of Friendly slogans. Friendlies. I want to go to Friendlies.
Like some executive just like think of a slogan. I asked my kid, what do you think a Friendly slogan should be? I want to go to Friendlies. Brilliant, so brilliant.
The next day he like brings into the board meeting scrawled in crayon as just I want to go to Friendlies. Yeah.
But it's like spelled Fiendlies.
Exactly. Okay, so continuing on with the trend of lazy, in 2010 they adopted the following: Friendlies. Oh, that looks good. I will say it again. Friendlies. Oh, that looks good.
You can't read that and hear like a sincere delivery.
No, it sounds
like somebody, like the waitress comes over and puts the plate down and that's what someone says. Oh,
somebody's dad.
That looks good.
Just staring at like a slightly suspect fishamajig on their plate. Somebody had to be paid to come up with that. And that went on signs and standees. That was probably used in ads. Maybe there was a little jingle. Oh, that looks good. That one lasted for a whopping year.
Wow.
But we're not done yet. That is not even the laziest the laziest slogan on this list. In 2011, after this one presumably went down in flames like the Hindenburg, in 2011 they adopted High Five, it's Friendlies.
Yeah, now we're getting into just almost randomness.
Again, like I can't help but picture the boardroom when they're coming up with these things. They're just like two guys. There's maybe like 5 minutes left in the meeting where they were supposed to have decided this, and they basically just spent all their time, complaining about their wives and drinking bourbon. And then at the end, they're scrambling.
High Five, it's Friendlies. It could have worked if they had in like an ad. What's his face? Putty. From the Seinfeld.
Patrick Warburton.
Yeah, if they had him in an ad.
Yeah, that would have been endearing. High Five, it's Friendlies.
Yeah, it would have been endearing, and you would have remembered it only because of that. But otherwise, it's just it's so weird.
Because that's the energy you want radiating off of your restaurant slogan. So we've now hit rock bottom. This is the single laziest slogan, not just of the ones we've read for Friendlies. This is the laziest slogan I have ever heard for any corporate entity. Are you ready?
Oh yeah.
Friendlies. Oh yeah.
I just, God.
Now, this is bad on 2 levels because it actually goes into 2 of the 3 categories that we've discussed. Number 1, lazy, obviously. It's just filler words. You ask anyone a question, they say, oh yeah. Bill, we were supposed to come up with a friendly slogan today. Oh yeah, that's it. But number 2.
There we go. All right.
Yeah.
It's like, it's perfect. It's like on the phone. He's on the phone too. It's like, we have to get the slogan. Oh yeah. All right. Good. It's like, all right.
Go with it. Go with it.
Like, wait. I didn't...
Some unpaid interns running around with papers.
No, is there an exclamation point?
There is an exclamation point.
Okay. Well, that.
Yeah. No, it's not ... or like a question.
Oh
mark.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, it does fall into the other negative category that we discussed because it also borders on copyright infringement.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Kool-Aid Man, that's his thing, you know?
What are they doing?
So on 2 different levels, this is a terrible decision. And again, those last 3, Friendlies, oh, that looks good. High five, it's Friendlies. And oh yeah, those each lasted a year. They were in and out.
What is it now?
Now, so they cleaned up their act since then. They had an anniversary in 2015. So they went with creating memories since 1935 to kind of acknowledge that. That's just generic and whatever, but it works, I guess. So they did that. And then they have 3 current slogans. They reintroduced Where Ice Cream Makes the Meal from 2008, which again, I feel like for Friendlies, that's truth in advertising, but also it works. It's your thing. And then they also went with Life with Extra Sprinkles, which is kind of fighting words around here in this area because people call them Jimmies, but you know, I guess I didn't want to localize too much. And then Deliciously Fun. So those are the 3 they have now. But yeah, I'm surprised that this isn't more of a thing, that people aren't more aware of, I guess, Friendlies in general, but also just their history of truly memorable slogans, you know, from the ominous, you're in for a nice surprise, to the litigious, there's no place like home, to oh yeah.
We've sort of turned it into a game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a surrealist game in a way.
Exactly. Yeah. So just come up with your own Friendlies slogan on the spot.
Friendlies, put a ring on it.
Friendlies, whatever.
Friendlies, insert grape lady sound.
And it's good when you can kind of play into the, you know, the legacy of previous Friendly slogans. I think we came up with one, Friendlies, be out of town by sunset.
Oh yeah. Or Friendlies, you're not getting out of here alive. It would just
What did you expect? It's Friendlies.
Yeah.